Welcome back to the Early Retirement Podcast. Today, we are going through a fun article that my client sent me. And they told me this helped them in their early retirement. And they told me not to say their name for security purposes, but it's John. No, it's not John. I'm just kidding. But this is going to be a fun episode, and it's an important one because if you have enough money to retire, great. That's a piece of the puzzle. It doesn't solve everything. And there's a point where you have plenty of money and go, look, maybe I don't need 10 million. Maybe if I had 3 million or 2 million, I could retire, spend more time with family and friends, and do what I actually want to do in retirement. So I want to show you a few statistics that were really cool in this article, might make you think a little differently when it comes to an early retirement. Once again, if you don't know, my name is Taublieb. I'm a certified financial planner. I'm the host of the Early Retirement Podcast that you are listening/watching right now, and I'm the vice president here at Root Financial Partners. Now, if you're listening on the podcast app, this is not going anywhere. Some of you guys have sent me a few notes going, hey, are you only doing the YouTube channel now, or is it what's happening? I go, everything's going to keep posting to the podcast app per usual. That's a lot of your just daily routine, weekly routine, should I say. And then I'm going to keep posting to YouTube as well because I like making content there where you can actually see it, and some people resonate with that more. Trying to help you all out. So this article comes from a really cool company, and you can see in the upper left here, or you can just listen to what I'm going to say. It's called Barking Up the Wrong Tree, which I just thought was a cool name. And the title of the article we're going to go through is How Do You Have a Happy Retirement? 4 Secrets from Research. The reason this video is titled Podcast 3 is because I only think 3 of them are worth noting. They're all good, but 3 big ones. Here's the first one, and I am quoting this, and you can see they discuss exactly this in the article, so I'm going to link the whole thing if you want to read it. But they say, healthy retirees in the first year of retirement rate their overall quality of life slightly higher than those who are still working. So just slightly. Very quickly, somewhere between years 1 and 2, retirees hit a low point and they just start crying. It just doesn't stop. No, they don't cry, but they are sad. And in large part, that's because they're like, I just worked a job for 20, 30 years. And now I really don't know what I'm going to do for purpose and fulfillment. That quality of life, as they say here, beginning in year 3, starts to recover, but only slowly. And it's not until they are 8 or more years into retirement, we finally see their ratings improve to when they were still working. That's powerful. Now, I can also give you real guidance of someone, not fun, but important to hear. This was today when I'm recording this on Wednesday. So Monday, I was speaking to a new client, and they were upset that they had $3 million. And I said, listen, I don't know why you're saying that. I don't hear that often, that someone's upset that they have $3 million, but tell me more. And she said, you're missing it. I have a bad degree of sciatica, and I want to travel in retirement, and now I don't think I'm going to be able to do that to the extent I'd like. I said, tell me more. She said, well, I feel like I could have done everything I wanted to do and more with $2 million in retirement. So I've been working the last 4 or 5 years thinking I just don't know if I have enough, when now I realize I do have enough, and now I've got this health issue I don't know if I'm going to be able to get over. So I'm thinking of all of you out there who are like, I can never have too much money. I get that, and that's, by the way, how most of us feel. Oh, I could always do something if I had more money. But there truly does become a point where you do have too much, and that example should illustrate that. So a few stats that I want to illustrate here. 75% of pre-retirees believe they will find their lives satisfying in retirement, but only 54% of retirees had that experience. I actually thought that was an encouraging stat when I read that the first time. Some of you are like, what's encouraging about that? Less people actually find satisfaction than they initially thought. This is still a good amount of people that do enjoy their retirement. So that to me is actually encouraging. Would I like that to be 100% believe it's going to be satisfying and 100% exactly go through and feel that way? Yeah, but that's just not real life here. So why do I bring this up? Well, I don't want this to happen to a lot of you. And some of you are hearing me right now. And let me be transparent and recognize that you're like, who are these people? Help me retire early with confidence financially, and I am good to go. And that's, by the way, a lot of these people as well. What does that mean? Did I just contradict myself? What I'm saying is a lot of these people that come to me reach out going, I want to retire early with confidence financially, make sure I'm there, and then purpose, I'll figure all that stuff out. And then what happens is the following. You can see here, in fact, for many, after the first 2 years of retirement, they experience something similar to a mild depression, weakened self-esteem, loss of direction, loss of purpose, much reduced levels of motivation and open-mindedness. They might be a Manchester United supporter. Just kidding. I'm a soccer fan, okay? So if you guys watch English soccer games, that's what I'm talking about here. They go on to say this, which I think is relevant. Nobody mentions the existential crisis that comes free with your senior discount. I just thought that was a good quote. They go on to say, sure, sitting around in a robe all day is fun occasionally, but wear it every day and you're not enjoying life. You're slowly turning into a sad velour, hopefully I'm saying that right, ghost haunting your own house. So lots of things that they talk about in this article. I'm not going to bore you to death with all of them. Some of them are really important stats. The biggest thing I tell people if I'm trying to give them confidence is do not expect your retirement to be linear. My pet peeve is when people do the following, and I am very transparent about this, as with most things. And someone came and they said, Ari, I think I could get away with spending $6,000 a month in retirement. And I said, I know you pretty well, and I looked at your plan, and I think you could get away with even less. And they're like, okay, maybe I could do it. I think maybe you're right. And I said, but I don't want you to. Retirement is not about getting away with something. You want to get away with something, like you want to get away with a great plan, go work 30 more years till you're 90. Your plan will look great. Look, that's not why we're doing this. The goal is to go, how early can I retire and not run the risk of running out of money? That's the balance we need to think about. So I think this is a good example, and I want to illustrate this with something a client told me and James a while ago. James is the founder of Root, for those of you who do not know. So we're talking about what are called required minimum distributions with a client, which is when you're going to have to take out a certain amount of money from your pre-tax 401ks, IRAs, things like that. Now, they were like, hey, I see that you're worried about this, but I'm not that worried. And I was like, why? Don't you want to save on taxes? They go, yeah, but to be honest, you're telling me that I'm going to have to take out more money than I'll even need. And I'm like, yeah, that's why we need to save you on taxes. And they're like, no, I think you're missing the point. All I heard you say was I'm not going to run out of money. I'm going to have too much money than I'll ever even need. I said, oh, that's an interesting way of looking about it. So the point here, what you can see here, a little history lesson. They say this whole concept of retirement, this is a modern invention, like dogs in Halloween costumes. For most of human history, the concept of retiring was about as plausible as time travel. You didn't retire from anything. You just worked until you died or were incapacitated by a tragic scythe-related accident while harvesting wheat for your feudal lord. Look, I try to keep it lighthearted and fun here, okay? So that's why I wanted to illustrate this. This whole concept of a retirement is new, in addition to an early retirement. Some of you might need income for 40 or 50 plus years. That concept, that's why I don't love the traditional 4% rule that are designed for a retirement of, retire at 65, die at 95, live 30 years, 2 kids, white picket fence. It does not apply to you. Could you do it? And could you maybe be okay? Sure. Most of you don't want to be okay. You want to optimize. So the third one that I wanted to illustrate here is, and I really like the way they said this, is to go, you didn't leave your job when you retired. You didn't. You left a whole ecosystem that, for better or worse, gave you life structure. Most of you guys, not all of you, but most of you guys, went to elementary school, then middle school, then high school, then maybe college, then got a job, maybe some stuff in between, take a gap year, you go travel. And now this is the first time that you actually have to create your own curriculum. And that is not easy. And some people go, yeah, it's just going to be like a light switch. Like, look, I'm stressed right now at work, and then I'm going to be not stressed when I don't have to work. But the timing of this is really important. Some people make this mistake. They go, oh, I need some sort of plan, so I'm going to travel. And then they go, I don't want to travel. And if I do travel, it's in a different stage of mind than I thought. Others of you truly are like, no, I do want to travel. So let me give you a few stats here. They go, the problem is most people do not make plans, even if they say they do. Fewer than 4 in 10 people put even a moderate amount of effort into it. The mistake I see people make is they put tons of effort into, oh my gosh, what's the right asset allocation? Oh my gosh, should I convert to the 22% bracket or 24% bracket? And look, that's my job. That's what I love. My job is to do these things so you can live your dream retirement. A big stat here, not fun, but important. According to a 2017 Generations Ahead study, a solid 62% of us are more afraid of running out of money in retirement than of, death. Let that sink in. More Americans are afraid of living than dying. If this isn't the most on-brand example of 21st century neurosis, I don't know what is. So I'm going to link the whole article in here. Lots of great stats, lots of hobbies, lots of ideas and things so that you can get social and enjoy your retirement. I'm going to link it below, but just wanted to give you this insight because I had a client that told me that this really shared some helpful things for them. And if it makes you all out there think 1% differently about your retirement, that's why I do this stuff. Once again, if you're looking for holistic planning, a few options for you. Number one is you can enroll in the academy, get access to the software, start playing around with the tool. And then, of course, we have our full service working with us on an ongoing model. Please, please, please be smart about this. Please know everything today, educational and informational purposes only. See you guys next time.